Hey there, Shopping Maniacs. You are listening to another episode of the Shop Doc Show. 701, baby. We're going past. This is the highest number episode ever of the Shop Doc Show. That's what, that there's ever been. You're listening
That's
to it right now.
unbelievable.
Yeah, isn't that, we keep adding episodes. It's the best, or the most newest episode we've ever made, and isn't that great? Yeah, you're here listening. Hey, Chris,
Yeah,
I have
incredible.
a question for you.
Hit me.
When you die, what do you want to happen to all your digital stuff?
Oh,
What's
yeah,
your
great
digital
question.
life when you die?
I have thought about it before because I like thinking of this way that my brain works is some of the extremes. So one of the extremes is like, I'm dead, Dave. Absolutely don't care. It doesn't matter.
Interesting.
Worm food, so good luck, everybody.
I am Christopher.
Whatever.
I'm out. I am dead. I am in the dirt. I am just molecules in space now. I don't. I'm full nihilist.
Exactly.
I don't care. I don't care.
Oh, can you not figure out my Gmail password? Who cares? Bye bye.
Good luck. Delete it. Yeah.
Yeah. I literally don't care.
Have their lawyers find you.
Part of me feels that way. I've behaved like that. I remember I had this is a moment in art class. I wish I could speak a little bit more intelligently to it, but there is some art people that feel like they are non-archival, I think is kind of the term for it, which means that they're done with their gallery exhibit and people experience their art, and the way they take it down is they just take it out to the dumpster out back at the gallery and put it all in there. Because it's whatever, I'm done with that. That was its phase. Or there's some people that are like, I must, put this in a temperature controlled storage unit forever because,
Right.
It's a piece of history that I'm a part of or whatever. And I think most people are more like that, or they're at least let me just chuck it in the attic or the garage or something. Cause why would I throw it away? That's just weird. Maybe it's valuable or important or something. And that's pretty legit too. So, all the way from don't care all the way to ultra archivist is interesting. Is the right answer somewhere in the middle for most people? Almost certainly. It's probably to have a freaking safe or something somewhere that has all your important passwords and information and a directive or something. I don't have any of that. Not really. I do think that the most important, I don't know, it's a complicated thing to say, but you probably know what some of my most important passwords are. And if you can get into my one password, then you can get into anything.
Yeah, that's
so.
So I've had two events that I had a coworker find my website, and it's oh, that's embarrassing because I probably said stupid stuff from decades. I've been running my dumb mouth for decades, and now you're a new person I interact with, and embarrassing, but it's okay. I have accepted the fact that I've put too much online. That's fine. The second one is I've been decommissioning old hard drives, going through, wiping them out, zeroing them out. I'm just
okay.
Cause I keep doing the thing where it's okay, I'm going to set up a time machine, and that's my time machine. Oh, I unplugged it. I switched to Windows for 5 years. And then I have a little hard drive I took from the Mac I was using, loaded it up with shit and put it into the Windows thing. And that was my system to transfer the files. And now that has half an iPhoto library, and then my wife's oh no, my computer's dying. And it's oh, let me plug in the hard drive and pull your music and photos off. So I have all this half crap, and so now I need to kind of find a home for all this stuff, so it's kind of so I've been putting it all on one hard drive. The next step is deduplicating all that crap, and then the next step is going to be figuring out a backup thing. But it got me just thinking what do I do, for if I die, how do I say, okay, Otis, my passwords are here? I've thought about just writing, we have a will. You should always have a will. That's my only advice, is have a will.
Yeah. Okay.
If you've ever had a parent or grandparent pass away and that's not in your and there's no protocol, Jesse and I almost couldn't buy a house because this family, or the owner, it was a husband and wife, they didn't have any kids, the husband passed away, and then the wife passed away, and that's who we were her estate. That's who we were buying the house from. But she had like 8 brothers and sisters, no executor, no power of attorney to sell the house. So they had to like go send lawyers to like rural Louisiana to like knock on doors and say, hey, this guy in Austin wants to buy your sister's house. Can you sign over the house? And they're like shotguns out, like, you're a lawyer, you're a Fed, you're trying to, shake us down for money. This is a con, so it's just like, I think you should always have a like some sort of power of attorney situation, especially if you have kids, like just, here's what happens if, to kids and money for kids and stuff like that, if something goes bad. But that only covers kind of your like financial life, sort of like your, house, your assets, basically. Like it doesn't cover like my digital life. Like what happens to my blog? Do my kids even want my blog? Do other people want my blog online? What would be the value in that? Good URLs don't die or whatever. But what if I die? Does the URL go away? Who knows? I don't know. Like what, do I want that to live on forever? Do I carve out part of my will to host my website for free on Netlify for the rest of my life? What happened? Do I buy the 100-year WordPress plan?
That one is interesting. Yeah, the 100-year thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you care? It's like, which things, is it pretty much just your personal website or is it more than that?
Yeah, no, website. I mean, there's, I think I'm kind of the password czar in the house, right? Like, or the bills czar, right? So I do all the electric bill, the, mortgage payment and all that stuff. So somebody has to figure out how to do that. Granted, like you said, if you die, like lawyers will knock on the door and help you figure out how to pay your mortgage, but like, how could I put my family in a good place? Like, I think it is kind of like, here's the computer password and here is the 1Password
Maybe
password.
That's it. It's just one.
Good luck,
Yeah. Oh, well, I wonder if 1Password, the company, should. Maybe they have this already. I didn't do journalism against it, but have a thing that's like, this really is a good super key for death. So, like, I want to make sure that if my family reaches out to the company 1Password in my death, that 1Password will help them somehow. Like, have a very. It could be even a pain in the butt, but some kind of protocol.
Some kind of protocol, right? Like some sort of like, okay, here's you're on the listed beneficiaries or something, like how do you do something like that,
I will mention them one more time here because they have a post up on the 1Password blog, which is a pretty nice little blog. I would recommend visiting it. I also recommend hovering over the logo of 1Password.com, which is like it turns into a hockey animation in a way that is wonderful. Anyway, I'm sure you've heard a little bit of what was it called? Nice. Claude which changed name to Moltbot, which changed name to OpenClaw, which has nothing to do with Claude, the company, but it is an AI bot kind of thing that you install on your computer. The discourse has become, oh, you should buy a Mac Mini and set it up in the corner and put this thing on it. And then it's like your virtual assistant that runs 24 hours a day and can do anything a human being can do. And all you read about is people being like, I don't know, I have it just like check my email sometimes and stuff. Like, I hate to be a jerk, but I haven't heard one human being say this is an actual human being, normal person thing that this thing's actually useful for. It's always this weird meta crap that people are using it for. I'm like, I don't need an AI to like do more AI stuff. It's anyway.
Yeah, I was trying to. I think Scott Tolinski had a video on it. And so I was trying to come in open-minded, but I don't think he sold me, just from a...
He didn't. I watched it too. Love you, Scott. It wasn't loaded with the use cases. But before I forget the plot here, I want to say the reason you're on the 1Password blog is because people are like, I think I'm obviously not going to buy a Mac Mini. Like, that feels like a big jump before I'm convinced. But like, why are people doing that? And they're doing it because it's super dangerous. Super dangerous. And the 1Password blog has this thing that says like, okay, it's so dangerous. Like, for one thing, it could... imagine the passwords you have in 1Password that in some cases are stored in a vault on your own computer. Like this thing has access to your whole computer. We had to put out a thing at CodePen that says, okay, people, can you please not install this on your work machine? That's what this 1Password blog post is saying. Do not install this on your work machine or even your regular machine. That's people aren't saying it, but that's why the Mac Mini thing is a thing a little bit, because it's too freaking dangerous to put on your own machine. And is it theoretically dangerous? No, it's actually dangerous. In this blog post, the top skills, because you like add these skills to the piece of software that's running, are active malware.
Whoa. Wow.
So pretty cool, everybody. Good job. Like, I don't want to crap on this thing entirely, but like, oh my gosh, dude, do not install this thing. It is.
Oh, it's like, you know how React has like a dangerously insert HTML or whatever.
Yeah.
This is dangerously use computer. Like, this is very, I understand the, like, I struggle. Like, I think that was where Scott was coming from. Like, I have ADHD. Like, I think that's what he said. But I do. And so like, I struggle to like get the details, and it would be cool to have some sort of apparatus that help me stay on rails, help me do the details. You know, I'm not going to install WhatsApp because I hate that thing, but like, but in theory I could, but like I just, you know, that it would be kind of cool to like get like text like, hey, did you like make that appointment? Did you like call your dad? It's his birthday or something, you know, like stuff. It's like, oh God, I was going to remember to do that. Like, but I'm bad at remembering, you know, or I guess I don't necessarily control where my attention goes. That's the disability I got. But like, so that it would be cool if I could have a machine sort of keeping me on track for the most important things. But how do I do that? And do I don't know if I have the attention to like do that, like configure that project. Does like, how does it
is
know?
What you're saying is this piece of technology might be helpful for that somehow, but it's not clear how.
Well, I feel like the effort to get it to perfect would be so high. That's where I'm kind of like, how does a computer know if I, like, my doctor sends me, oh man, the office is closed because of a power outage, you know, like, how does it know between that and like, hey, you really need to come in or something like that. You
what
know,
are
like,
you picturing in your mind when you say that? Is it that message comes to you and that this OpenClaw automatically sees it and tries to deal with it for you?
Or like, so I had a prescription lapse, right? And so I had to go, okay, brain, it didn't show, I never got it, right? So I never got the Walgreens notification. So I need to call the doctor or go into the portal and tell the doctor I didn't get the prescription. This happened twice in the same week. So that's how cool my brain is. 2 different prescriptions. So I just was like, okay, I got to remember to do that. The next day, okay, I did it. Now I got to remember that they're going to email me back at some point, so I got to go check that email. And so now it's like, you know, it's kind of these like big, long async jobs. Those are what kill my brain.
I see.
The big async jobs. So yeah, that's like where I was like, ooh, this would be kind of helpful. It'd be kind of cool to have, you know, like a personal assistant. Like if I had, you know, Jonathan in my office, you know, Jonathan could be like, excuse me, Mr. Dave, Mr. Rupert, you need to, I went ahead and got your prescription fulfilled. That would be a dream, you know, if I had a Mr. Jonathan in my house. If I had a Robo Jonathan, that would also be cool if it worked. If I didn't have to program it to do the right thing, that would be cool. You know?
Yeah, it seems almost like overkill for that. Like, isn't that not that to dismiss you here, but isn't that like what you need is reminders? Like reminder apps exist. You know, like why is AI relevant to solving this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because of it doesn't it have like cron built in or something? Like, how does it stay busy?
Yeah. I saw a post or a video or something that was just like Claudebot is just a while loop. And I think that's all these things are right now. It's just a
Yeah.
constant loop to like, is this job done? No? Okay, I'll come back in a bit, or whatever. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it does like it's trying to figure out if tasks are done. Tasks it has assigned. Is task done? No. Go see if task can be done. No. Okay. Check human. I don't know what the flow is, but
Yeah, I guess.
yeah.
Okay, well, don't install it on your work machine and give it a
no.
shot.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not. I'm gonna let. This is how I felt about React back in like 2011. I'm gonna let it blow up in other people's face, and then I'll maybe use it. So 2013. Yeah, 2013. Anyway.
Here I can switch us into like a question. We got one here from Tom BH. Maybe this will be interesting to you. It's about kind of bringing a design system and the consistency, which is one of the reasons that you'd use a design system, kind of into WordPress land, which I feel like I've never really understood, I guess, despite having worked in that world for a long time. So I think it's a kind of an interesting decision. And he's talking about WordPress specifically with like, I think he calls it an unknown design surface area in a way, because if you are just doing like, I don't know, quote unquote, vanilla WordPress and you're designing all of your templates and all this stuff, fine. I think you can probably bring whatever you want to the party in that case. But then he's like, well, what about plugins? And I'm like, well, what about plugins? Plugins is too generally of a term to say like, this is a problem, but he specifically calls out really big, important ones. And he's saying, here's 3: WooCommerce, bbPress, which is a forum, and a membership plugin called Ultimate Member. So WooCommerce brings all kinds of templates to the party in whole ass pages and all this, and it brings its own HTML and its own classes and its own CSS and everything. So if you've got a design system and then you throw WooCommerce at the party, what is the plan? Like, because I think you're just in for a fight. Like, it's going to be a fight one way or another. And is the fight like try to turn off and wrestle WooCommerce into using your design system, which I think would be probably an exceptionally difficult fight? Or is it kind of like the way I've chosen to do it in the past is just do a little CSS fighting, where you're just like, I'll pretty much take what you give me, but I'm going to override your CSS with some of mine, or maybe turn off your CSS and use mine, but I'm not going to fight you at the HTML level, because that's like a PHP fight. That's kind of a harder one to wage. Yeah. bbPress is the same way. It has like, now your login forms, and you have all these new forms that are user facing, and it's bringing all its own templates and CSS to the party to make that happen. I think this is hard, and I don't think there'll ever really be an answer for it. Like, they're doing the best they can to make these useful plugins that bring lots of robust functionality, and they need to bring their own HTML and CSS to the party to make sure that happens. I think it would be very difficult for them to do that work and say, oh, just bring whatever componentry you want along too. It's just not going to happen. So I think like a little CSS fighting to make it basically look like your design system is the reasonable middle ground there. But it's never going to be perfect.
No, one thing I would say too is absence of a design system is also a design system. Think about that. Like, you just have one that is very nebulous and distributed. And so you've actually kind of like entered the, like, you're not like just a design system with components that you wrote. You're not like a single page app. You are in the like system of systems territory, which is like, my system has to work on the React app and the Rails app and the .NET app and the internal backend app. Like, you're in kind of that world actually, because you're dealing with like basically 3 applications: bbPress, WordPress, Ultimate Member, and what was the other one? WooCommerce. So 4 apps. Like, you have like 4 kind of separate apps. I think like you're right about the CSS layer. Like I would start at the tokens. Like that's kind of your first fight is like what tokens do we get? What's our brand colors? What's our sort of state colors? And then try to apply that CSS to each like big component of the site. In WordPress and PHP, you're going to have components kind of by default. You're going to have like lists, right? Like a WP post list, right? Like that's a post list component. bbPress is going to have the index page with all the posts. It's going to have a like detail page with the post content. There may be some similarities. WooCommerce, it's going to have an index page that's a grid of products. You need to figure out what that looks like in your system with your paddings, with your margins, with your animations, and then you have the detail page, which is kind of like a column of content with like a add to cart button. Like you have these sort of similar things. I think all these things are going to maybe let you do like a header or something, header and footer, injection. But maybe you need to figure out, because those come with their own like Chrome and crap, like bbPress has 70 links at the top. Like how do you make that? Does your system need to react to that and shrink down to like amplify that page? I think like you have to think about that stuff probably more than just somebody doing like a single page app or like a dashboard.
Yeah,
so.
I see what you're saying too. There's different scenarios here, and I bet people have different things in their head about the situation that Tom's in. One of them could be like, is the entire project a WordPress project, and you're trying to, like, that's it. You're living in this bubble, and you want to express a design system within it. That's a possibility. Somehow I was picturing, like, you have this existing design system already because you're this big brand, and, you have a design systems team and yada, yada, yada. It already exists. And now you're like, okay, it's WordPress time now. We're adding on to our suite of things. We're building a WordPress site. I can imagine the people in charge being like, well, use this design system. It's sitting right here. That's why we built it. We want you to use that. Like, why does this error message not look like an error message component? It looks different. And you're like, well, because WooCommerce just does its own error stuff. Like, I can't use our error message component. I literally just can't. I can make it look like it if you want me to, but I can't use the actual component. Like, I just know that I can't. It'll be like this massive fight to try to use. And that's one grain of sand.
Do they do the errors up by the H2 or do they do the errors under the input? You probably don't control that decision. That's at that plugin's level, right? So
right. Yeah. And can you imagine somebody being tasked to be like, well, no, this is the job. Our design system has the errors under the inputs, so that's what you need to do. But let's say they don't. Dude, you're in for the fight of your life to get it to do that. And then let's say you win, you've imparted an amazing amount of technical debt to do that. Like, I think the appropriate fight is to be like, we're going to adjust our thinking here. Because me launching into this fight is a wrong decision, possibly. Oh,
yeah. You're it's Pain Town. And if there's, I don't know how big your team is. I don't think that was like kind of included in the description here. Let me do a really quick scan. Okay, no, but like, if different teams own those different verticals, that's like more hard, because now you got to like, prove to Bob, that this is the right choice, and and then you got to go Susan, and then
right.
But they might not,
and it can sound like
each other.
Lazy, because the way that you can sound like, I just don't want to fight this fight. Or like, I don't want to fight the technology like this, can sound like, well, isn't that your job? Like, shouldn't you? It's like a gardener saying like, oh, digging up that garden bed sounds like a lot of work. I think we should just sprinkle some seeds into what's already there or something. That's lazy. You're a crappy gardener if that's the case. But you're like, oh, it's not. It's more complicated than that. I'm saving us from a future disaster. I'm more like a hero.
Yeah. I'm the good guy. So if you are in the situation where you need to convince coworkers, what I would say is get data. Like, what's your maintenance cost? Like, literally time it. Like, if you were going to change a button today, change the logo is my favorite scenario. If you had to change the logo right now on your entire site, and for me, that's like the entire Microsoft network. Like, what would have to happen?
Yeah.
How many man hours is that to do
That's
that?
funny. I think didn't I steal your idea and do I think I did a blue sky on it or something like a couple months ago that was like how long would it take for you to get it to production? And I think there was you know, people being like 30 seconds, you know, people being like couple days, or you know, like people, you know, because everybody's got their own story of what their most major project is and what are the situations. I imagine for you it'd be like it's not possible.
Everyone.
I just am picturing like whatever the Microsoft homepage or whatever. Like you're not touching that. You know?
No, I mean that would be like I mean that's like you've just lit everyone on fire for across an entire company. You know, like it's just it's like you've just started the biggest brush fire, you know, like in the history of the company just by doing that. But we actually had that situation, you know, and like they actually did change the logo when we were building the project, you know, like back in 2012, like they, you know, Pentagram came through with different windows, and then that was a surprise. And then I think, I think it takes hard work, you know, so.
Well, I think people latched onto it because I'm, you know, mostly talk about technical stuff. Like, how long does it take technically to get it out?
Oh,
like for you to write the code and for the CI to run and for the pull request to get merged and for all the processes to run out. That's interesting, but equally interesting is the who has to say yes. You know, like the organizational stuff.
How does it go out? And then, who has to say yes? Who are the check marks on the org tree that have to all agree? You know, that's intense. So
that's why I'm ruined, unfortunately. Like I'd like to think I could work any job and just I'm a personable and nice, hardworking fella. I could make it happen, but I think it would also be a challenge for me to have too much red tape in the way of getting things done that I know are important and a good idea. Like if I have to ask too many people if it's okay if I adjust this spacing or something, I will have a hard time in that role.
You think 15 years of autonomy, like unfettered autonomy, CodePen has maybe ruined you for
it is
collaboration?
Like how long does it take me to get a logo change out, and how many people do I have to ask? I have to ask no one, and it'll take me 15 minutes probably or so. Because there is some checks that have to happen, and deployment isn't instant, you know. Some servers gotta flip over and stuff, but that's pretty fast, I'd say, generally. All right, we did Tom. Do you want to do?
Oh yeah, Tom BH
John?
from the BH photo. What is it?
Empire.
Empire, the family. Let's see. Let's go to the next question. I'm pulling it. John Elwood. Hey, this is good. I'll play into your joke, John. His full name, is John Elwood. Alexa, set an alarm for 4 a.m.
That's dangerous, man. I have one of those in the next room, believe it or not.
That's really good. Great job. I am open to chaos in 2020. So thank you. You really caught me in a good year. This is probably a weird question. Feel free to mock me. We will. If an endpoint if I have an API endpoint that returns a database value where one of the fields is in all caps for some reason, I have that situation. I know I can use PHP and JavaScript to fix it so it's capitalized properly, but I am so lazy. I tried this text transform, lowercase on the parent, where this loud data is being rendered. This works well and made it quiet data, all lowercase. Add a text transform capitalized to the element where the data value is rendered. Rather than the appropriate rendering appropriate loudness, which is like title case, capital A, capital L, in the UI, it reverted back to all caps loud data. And I'm curious why. I made a rough pen of the example. We could pull that up, I guess. But, how do you like, I don't know.
I get it. So let's say there's the string.
Yeah.
The string is capital Dave Rupert all the way through. Dave Rupert! This is a CSS thing that you just need to know how this works. And then you apply to that element that has capital Dave Rupert on it. You put text transform lowercase. It just goes to lowercase Dave Rupert all the way through. Everybody understands that, right? That's if you want to capitalize it, you take a string that isn't all capitalized and you say text transform uppercase. And then it makes it all uppercase letters, right? There is this other value, text transform capitalize, that does title case. Each word will have a capital in it. So Dave Rupert will become capital D, lowercase Ave, capital R, lowercase Rupert. But so John is wondering why, if you have all caps data and you say text transform capitalize on it, does it not go to title case? It just doesn't go to title case. And I think it's just how CSS works. Like in your mind, perhaps you're applying like it should start lowercase and then do that. But all text transform capitalize is doing is making sure the first letter in each word is uppercase. And that's already true when you have all uppercase raw data. So it's just going to remain all uppercase. The original string is all uppercase. And so it tries to uppercase the first character. That's what you're going to get. There is no version of it that does both. Like, I think what you're wanting is like both things to apply, text transform lowercase and text transform capitalize. Like you want them both to apply in order. And that's just not how CSS works. One overrides the other. And so you're just not going to get it. It's just one of these like CSS things that... Yeah, that is interesting. Like, is there any way for CSS to help here? I don't think so. Not really.
I don't think so.
I mean, I hate to say that because then we end up doing a show that explains it, but...
No, I think you're stuck.
There really isn't.
Unfortunately, that's like, maybe we need to get stacking text transforms. That would be cool. I think we're getting stacking outlines soon. You can have multiple outlines. That's kind of cool. I think that was resolved soon.
I did not hear that. That's lovely.
I maybe dreamt it late at night when I was migrating hard drives. So, I think it's hard. I think you need a server side thing, and there's there's a difference between title case and sentence case, and that's kind of hard too.
There's no sentence case in CSS.
There's no sentence case, and like if your name is whatever, like. I don't know, Hakeem Al-Hattab, you probably don't want the middle, like, capitalized. Maybe you do. I don't know. But, like, or if you're, like, I don't know, iPhone, you're talking about iPhone. You don't want it capitalized. You want it capitalized the weird way, right? Like, lowercase I, capital P phone. Like, how do you... it's really hard to even write a function, I guess is what I'm saying, to like do that. To
do it correctly.
Yeah. So that's a hard place. I don't, I think that's where like good data wins sort of. That's maybe the story. The back end, because like the cost on that is pretty low or like there are back end things that do that. Like, Rails had like pluralize, like it could like correctly pluralize words. Rails had like I think it has like a capitalize correctly function. So
did it really?
I want to say so.
Wow! Good job, Rails. What a funny thing, It did. I do remember pluralize, where it allowed you to pass in an integer too, and like if the integer is 2 or more, it would add the s or whatever. That's funny. Good job, Rails. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why your default answer isn't to just send this thing through, like GPT 3.5 or something. Just clean her up, baby. Use a
Just
it's only 2 cents a shot.
Yeah, send everything through an LLM. Why didn't we think of this? This is cool.
Yeah. Duh.
You could well, yeah. I was gonna say you could use a local LLM, like one of the new local models. That's not gonna
Is
work
anybody else doing
anywhere.
that but Chrome? Probably not, huh?
There's a Edge can do it too, but it's the same deal. But I don't think anyone
still.
else has picked it up. I think even some others are like a hard no, but I don't know the full story there. So
I think it's cool. I just think it'll always feel behind. It'll always feel like, oh, I want to use this for summaries. You'll know in your mind that your summary will always be crappier than the latest, greatest cloud model. And you're like, you're just going to have to be okay with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right.
Interesting. Rails has a titleize function that can title case things. So it'll do like not like of and those will stay lowercase. Interesting. That's unique to Rails. Anyway, I just remember
that's pretty nice.
Like, yeah. As I feel like Rubyists sort of care about this crap, and that's why
does title case even exist that does every word without any intelligence? It's got to be the least used CSS thing in the world. We should ask the
paging Brian Cardell to my DMs in 3, 2, 1. Just downloaded the history, Chris. We'll get it in like 3 days, so we're good. So,
I'm trying to think of something else. There's this tool that analyzes CSS usage globally or something that I can't remember. Bart works on it, right? All right.
This would be a great. I'm just gonna say this would be a great series of web components if you wanted to make those. You just wrap it, and then you make sure you get title case, sentence case, capitalized first or something like that.
The president of web components would say that. I think it's better to fix your data at the database level. The second best choice is server side, and the third best choice is a client side.
No. Web components. Oh, funny. All right. Okay, cool. Next question, huh?
Yeah, Micah Mills is a front-end dev that landed in management, hasn't kept up with CSS. CSS exploded on them, yada, yada. But they have one very specific question, which is how CSS custom properties, -- we all know them, lovely. He just learned about @property, which is a way of declaring a CSS custom property. You've seen it, I'm sure, Dave. Is that a best practice, is what he's asking. Should we just always do it? Should we just always declare our CSS properties with an @property before we use them? I think he's wondering if that's a thing that we do and should do now. And I'm like, no.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I mean, I have a token system with 1,200 tokens, so no. That's so much kilobytes, right? So that's bad. I think, tell me if I'm wrong, Chris. I think where we need to get to is properties when we need them. When this property animates, you need this. If I'm animating a pixel length or something, I need a property. If this function, because we're getting functions in CSS, if this function expects a kind of a color to come out of it, it has to be a color. I think that's where we need that. If you need a default value and you can't for some reason use var -- my token comma value.
Yeah.
If you need a default value for the token, then
it's great for that. I think that part feels best practice-y to me, that they will definitely have a valid value if you do that. I think that's kind of neat, which pushes me a little bit towards, maybe use it. You know, also it can be a little foot gunny because you can say whether they inherit or not, and I feel like that's hard. Like that's like a tough question to ask somebody in the moment. You're like, probably, right? You know,
Yeah.
but there are reasons sometimes where you don't want that.
Like if you had like this is a problem I actually had recently. If you had like border colon var dash dash border width, var dash dash border style, and var dash dash border color, right? So we have 3 border variables that control our border, right?
Yep, you got 3 of them.
You got 3 of them. And, you know, or you could think of it in like a box shadow with like 10 different box shadows or whatever.
Box shadow's better because it doesn't have sub properties for some of that stuff, whereas border does.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like box shadow, you have to use variables if you want to cut it apart. Yeah.
Right. So like, let's say box shadow. Yeah, that's a good one. Box shadow, right? So I have X, Y, offset, spread and color. So 5 variables, right? Per box shadow, per shadow. So, and I have 2 shadows. If I do not define X, that shadow, that whole entire shadow with 5 different shadows doesn't show up.
Dead.
So if I don't define shadow 1X, it's all dead. And so like that's a situation where property would be cool because you're like, hey, shadow 1 is always 0 pixels. Shadow 1X is always 0 pixels. Shadow 2X.
Yeah, so it has a valid
pixels.
Value instead of an invalid value. Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool.
That is +1. Well, in the columns of should this be a best practice or not? That's 1 for best practice. Yes. Against it is you have to decide whether you want it to inherit or not, and that's a weird decision to have to ask somebody on the fly. That's a 1 in the column of don't do it. In the column of doing it is it automatically makes your variable animatable and transitionable where it wasn't before. That's a plus, I think, because I can see somebody being like, "Oh, I'm just gonna chuck like dash dash X into a keyframe animation, and it goes from 0 to 1." And then it just doesn't work. And having somebody be like, oh, well, you just can't do that. You can't animate a custom property. Where you're like, oh, no, but you can. You just have to declare it first. That's weird. So it could be a +1 in the best practice categories. Just do it, because then you won't screw it up. You won't like come to the incorrect conclusion later that they can't be animated.
There could be more education, like blog posts, front end masters, hey guy. About like what you need to variabilize to transform, because I don't think I know all those. Like pixels, obviously, like pixel value, animate height kind of thing or something like that. You need it, right? Like but like where would defining like what kinds of animations would require a pix or a property declaration?
I think it's all of them. I think you're
really?
applying
they
too
all
much.
benefit?
You're applying too much. Yeah, you're applying too much nuance to this. Even if they're both colors, red and blue, but it's dash dash color, that cannot animate from red to blue. It can't be done because it thinks that they're strings. Okay. So you have to say, oh, that's opacity. A color, and then you can.
I can do like opacity. I can do transition, transform.
You cannot.
Nope. I can't animate opacity.
No. If you have dash dash opacity and it has a value of 0 and dash dash opacity that you're trying to transition to 1, it will not animate because it thinks that's a string of 0 and a string of 1. You have to say, oh, that's a number, and then it will animate fine. I'm telling you, it won't do it.
Huh? Okay.
It won't animate.
Wow.
Now I feel like an idiot. Like I'm going to feel like an idiot if I'm wrong about that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, maybe what you need to do, I don't know if I love this. Maybe what you need to do is Style Dictionary will like generate properties for you. I think it can do that. Like, so you could like run it all through Style Dictionary, like your style sheet, or like your tokens sheet, basically. I wonder if you should ship that alongside, but then, like I can't send people 1,200 tokens. They're not going to want that. So like, how could I chunk it up to like these, like I don't know, color tokens, border tokens, or something, like, so where you like, I don't know, man, that's hard.
You know what? Just to be clear, I think there is like, let's say you said opacity : var, dash opacity,
invisible,
and then you said transition to opacity : and then
var
it's a different variable that will, I think, animate. I think that's what's confusing here, because it's like that will work. It's if it's what you're animating is dash opacity, and you're changing dash opacity from the value 0 to the value 1, that won't animate unless you declare it.
So if
Well, it's like what you're animating is opacity, and it just goes to two different values. If they both happen to look like unitless numbers, that will be fine. But if it's like the thing that you're actually animating is the custom property, then it won't. I know that's hard to grok, but
so like opacity var 1 and then hover opacity var 2, that works. But if you're doing like whatever, animate fade in, and then you say to dash opacity 0, or sorry, from dash opacity 0 to dash opacity 1, that does not work. That does.
I think you said it wrong, unfortunately. It's like let's say the hover animation has like, you're like dot element hover, and then what you change is dash opacity goes to 0. So now you're changing the value of dash opacity. It's like,
transition.
No, it won't.
Okay. Actually, that's actually relevant to a thing I've been working on. Interesting. Because I think like maybe then, because we were kind of thinking like at our component level, we'd have like dash button hover or whatever, button background hover, but it sounds like to get that to, and then we'd redefine that on the hover, and then it would just change the background.
You're killing me, dude. This is the worst nerd snipe ever. Now I have to write this because
God damn it. But I'm thinking, if what you're saying is true, then we are at the like, this requires a app property for button BG hover, or button BG hover, or button. Let's just say button BG, and then on hover I redefine button BG.
Yes, that's not happening, right? And even if you do it, it's hard to do sometimes, because a background value can be pretty complicated, and chances are you can't attribute one particular thing like a color or a length to it, because the background property has like repeat and gradients and all kinds of shit that it could be. So, and if the value of your custom property is a linear gradient, then it's a different linear gradient. Like, that's not, even if you declare it as a color or something, it's not going to work. There's so much nuance to this that you kind of just build up a, I just know that. That's just how I just know it. But it's hard to teach or explain.
You know, it's giving job for life right now, and I kind of love it. That's hard. This is funny. I mean, this is like,
it came up. I saw a lot of it recently because Andy Bell posted this thing that said, let's say there's a line across the middle of the screen, right? And pretend that line is the light source, like a strip light or something. And there's these divs that pass by below it as you scroll. And like, what if the box shadow kind of looked like it was coming from that light source? So the box shadow wasn't just steady all the time. The box shadow looked like light was hitting it depending on where it was relative to that light source. And he's like, he did, it's one of those ones where like he did a demo of it 10 years ago or something, and he just used JavaScript to like calculate where on the page it was, and then updated some variables to adjust the box shadow to look like the light source. And he's like, don't you think we could do that these days with like a view scroll transition? Or not a scroll timeline, excuse me. And the answer is totally, you absolutely can. But as you're scrolling, what's happening is it's making its way through a keyframes animation. So let's say you're your view thing is at 87% of the view timeline you set up, then it's at keyframe 87%, whatever's happening in that keyframe animation at that exact moment. And what you can update is a custom property. You can say X is 0 from, and it goes 2X is 1. So at 87%, the value is 0.87. But it won't do that unless you declare it as a number. It has to be declared. So I saw in the answers to Andy Bell's little challenge, a lot of at property rules being set because it was kind of necessary to use them with a view timeline or a scroll timeline. Yeah.
All right. Sorry. You tell me what I'm doing. This is
right.
CSS coaching.
The hot seat.
The hot seat. Welcome to the hot seat. Here we go. We have a button. We have BG red. Right? Appearance none. This is all just squill.
Yep.
But I have a background color and I'm transitioning. But you're saying we're doing animate, right? That's the problem we can't do? Okay, so this has to be animate?
My guess is that it's... Okay, I was happy to do that, huh? So red, because even though you're changing the custom property itself... see, this is me embarrassing myself. My guess was that this wasn't going to work because you're changing the value of the custom property itself. But there is some situations where that's definitely not going to work. Try to do it with some padding too, where you set a number like
padding
dash padding.
This is what I want, Chris. This is the I want, like, okay. So dash padding.
Dave is setting dash padding to 5 pixels or something. 1M.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then I'm gonna do var padding. Or let's do 5 pixels, and then we're gonna go to dash padding.
The hover state for this button is changing dash padding from 5 pixels to 10 pixels.
Okay. And I'm going to hover, and we should see it go to blue and 10 pixels padding.
Gradually, over 1 second.
Yeah.
Damn it. And you didn't have to declare either. It's working exactly perfectly. That's why I said damn it for those listening.
Well, no.
Okay.
See,
all right. I try the M to pixel conversion now.
Okay. Let's do
it 1M to 20 pixel or whatever.
To 20 pixels.
Make it,
okay. Let's M to pixels. Worst case scenario, right? It's going to shrink.
My guess now is it's not going to work.
Or let's do like 32 pixels, right?
Yeah, a lot of pixels.
Something. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Ready?
So it should get bigger theoretically. Yep. Oh my God! It even interpolated M's to pixels perfectly without declaring anything.
I mean, maybe this is just chalk it up to superior edge technology. Maybe.
Did this work the day this all shipped? I have my doubts that worked.
Yeah.
Probably. All right, we have to break it somehow, though. This is our charge right now.
Now we're here.
So now make a keyframes animation. Let's see if this is going to work.
Okay. I'm going to go animate Rob. 2 seconds, right? So
got it.
And I'm going to kill that, and then I'm going to go
at keyframes
plural. Who knows? I've been doing this job a long time, and we don't know. No one knows.
Yeah.
2.
So just go 2 only. Yeah, right. And then that's where you're going to change the padding. Dash padding. Oh yeah, do them both. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. And then we should be throb.
Should just do it, right?
Infinite. Go. Or
it doesn't like that.
Animation. That's the word.
Yeah. Were you clued off by the giant red? Oh, yes. All right.
Okay, we broke it.
Transition. We broke it. But now we're going to fix it. So go to the very top of the CS. I actually don't know. It doesn't matter if it's at the top or not, but I think it's kind of a decent practice to do that. So add property, and then it's got curly bracket. No, first you have to go dash BG, then curly brackets. I'm not even looking it up. I'm just guessing. Syntax with an at, and then you need angle brackets to say color, and then maybe that's all you need. No.
Inherits true initial value, but we don't care about that. I don't think we need that, right? Yeah. Is this in quotes? Color?
Yes, it is. Come on.
Okay. All right, let's maybe because one of the properties doesn't, it is mad at me.
That seems
Padding, and this
unlikely.
is a length.
Oh my God, why is this not working? Try initial value too. So are we?
It has quotes. Oh, it was initial value, dude.
No way. That's wild. That's required then?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
problem solved.
Woo!
Problem is
So
solved. We
transitions are
solved it.
way smarter than animations? Who knew? Like there's got to be something weird going on. All right, so it's
Yeah.
keyframe.
Yeah.
But that's, remember when I was mouth blogging about the view timelines that were going
Mm-hmm.
on? Those are inherently, they must be keyframes. And that's what, hence all the app property usage. So just
Yeah.
less necessary with transitions for some reason.
Okay, no, this is awesome because I think
It is awesome.
I've
I was
encountered
super
what you
wrong.
said where these don't work, they don't animate, but then I was kind of like confused because I believe you're good at CSS, but I was like, I've experienced them animating, but then now, but why? But I've also experienced them breaking in animations too. So I was just kind of like, what is it? So okay, animation is hard. If we're animating, we got to properties. We got to do a property. Animating, when in doubt, animate with properties. Yout.
Yeah, boiling
Right?
this down to a
To a limerick.
quick little thing is a little hard. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Transition blue to red, you are not dead. Animate blue to red, you dead. Oh yeah, transition.
We're going Valentine's Day style here?
Transition, all right. Animate dead. That's it. I think that's it. I think everyone agrees that's the best one. And
That's the best one.
Yeah. I think we can.
The problem is, I think if we dug into this for a whole episode or something, we'd find even more nuance to it.
Well,
I don't know that all transitions are fine.
Right.
I don't know that that's the case.
Like
you know?
that's like where I need the blog post, right? Like I need that this is the canonical piece where I'm never going to remember this. This is CSS trick / flexbox. This is like, I will never remember this thing. So how do I remember what animates, you know? So it'd be cool. Hey, you can write, look at this. We're just giving away ideas, Chris. We're just saying the true, whatever list of animatable properties. You got title case, web component. We're making people web famous over here. We're just doing it. So,
Oh my God, that was really fun. It goes to show you that, maybe that's why CodePen exists, is rather than run your mouth, you should just open a pen and see what's up. Yeah.
Dude, if I would have had to bolt.new and like spin up a whole Docker. No, I'm just kidding. This is why I love CodePen. I don't know. It's just like, hold on. I have to figure this out. I have to build a reduced test case, man. If you can, I don't know. I feel like that's going to be the future. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me make you a CodePen.
I did have somebody real worried the other day that it's going to be that when we release 2.0, because part of the marketing is going to be like it can do a lot more stuff. That it's at the cost of it being simplistic like that, like it just was for you. You just put and we figured it out. I'm really hoping we've put lots of time into trying to make sure that it is just as simple. It can be just as simple, or like that. Not that the default is more complicated. That if you want it to be almost exactly like it is now, only with the capability of growth, you can absolutely do that. And I think it's even more adaptable to what you want. Like I don't know. There's just more UI control over your defaults and how you want it to behave than there is now. So just in case anybody's worried, we were successfully set his mind at rest that it don't worry, it's not going to force complexity down your throat, because we're not dumb. Know that some people use it because it's fast and quick. I'm not trying to be like, no, it's 10 times more complicated. Isn't that better, everybody? No, it's not.
Y'all have done really good. I mean, there's, I guess, spoiling. If you haven't seen the 2.0, I just got a button, try it out. So there's like you can have more than just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, like, which is handy when you, sorry, I'm turning this into a hashtag ad, but like sometimes web development is more than 3 files, And so like this is, like if you want to test a view transition or something like that, like
right. You don't have to care. You don't never need to open that drawer if you want. But if you're like, oh, I just need one more file, you just open it up and add another file, and then you got it.
And then there's whole ass build tools, whole ass deployment. I think the collaboration's in a way better place than it used to be, details, comments in a better place. So
inviting people. That's pretty cool.
My asset manager.
There's a lot of
there.
stuff in there. Tailwind's in there if you care about that. This is how you use Tailwind. You're just I need to use some Tailwind. Oh, at the top of this file, I'm just going to write @import Tailwind CSS, like every other time you've ever used Tailwind in your life. And guess what? It just starts working.
Wow.
It's that kind of thing that makes it cool to me. Did you see Adam's nice selects?
Oh yeah. Oh, we should find that. Adam Argyle Inc. Nice select. Sorry, I'm gonna pull it up for the old viewers here on the TV. God, I'm a.
It was satisfying for me as somebody who's just like, he just chose to use the new editor and he used it effectively and it looks really nice.
Examples, main style. So he's got a default style. He's got and the example CSS. Great. So, but man, look at these. This is our future here. You ready to be transported to the year 2026?
Oh my God. They bounce open a little bit. It's totally custom styled with nice little shadows. It's light mode, dark mode compatible. It has a little bit of animation. Now scroll down on that one with the country one or one of those company. It's got these like fixed position headers in it that are really nice.
Like so I'm on South Korea. It opens and I'm like, I still got South Korea in the viewport. Like that's a miracle. I don't know. Like, I don't know if Adam did that or if like that was like, like this is so good. Like Alex Thompson, I'm going to get Alex Thompson under my mouth.
Yeah. Oh, is it going to
push?
Is it going to be a problem if it's too close to the viewport edge? No. Is it going to open too big? No. Is it going to flip when it needs to? Yes. Just to, and it's 100% CSS.
The video, but yeah, like that's so great. So anyway, look at these. A little underlining to tell you what like. Oh man, that's a little. That one went above the viewport. That's fine, though.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, it's worth looking at his blog post because we can just poke at things that we see, but his blog post has every single detail that is put in there, and it's a lot of details.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty sweet. So anyway, well, cool. Awesome. I think exciting year for CSS here. So way to go, Adam. So, all right, we should probably go because I think I have meetings. So thank you, dear listener, for downloading this in your podcatcher choice. Be sure to share it up. That's how people find out about the show. Follow us on one of the good ones, Mastodon or Blue Sky, and then head over to our patreon.com/shoptalkshow to join the Discord, because that's where all the cool people hang out and they float the show for the entire year. So hang out with us. It's fun. We do a lot of clues by Sam. Just gonna throw that out there. There's a gear channel. If anyone posts in there, you have to buy it. So those are just the rules. Just the rules. So if you need like, hey, partner, spouse, wife, husband, I have to buy this because they told me. We're there for you. We're there for you. So, yeah. So, anyway, Chris, you got anything else you'd like to say?
Shoptalkshow.com.